Credit card debt can feel like shackles. Today, we're talking about how to pay off credit card debt so that you can be free. It's easy to want to overcomplicate the whole process, but I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible and break down all the steps. You might feel intimidated and like you can't get started when you hear about the 2,000 things you need to do to get this done. We're breaking it down and it all starts with the first step. Step one, decide it's time to change. Often, each one of us has a moment when we decide that we must change and we can't keep living life the way that it has been going. Sometimes the card gets declined at the grocery store. We don't have enough money to buy our kids a new coat. Or maybe we can't cover the mortgage that month. This is a very vital step because it takes us from casual to serious about paying off debt. And paying off debt is no joke. It involves a lot of hard work and dedication. So if my why is not strong enough, it might not really happen. Moment or series of events that makes you decide that you must pay off your debt strengthens your why. This is probably not a pretty happy moment for you, but don't forget it. This is what grounds you for the journey ahead and pushes you through those difficult days. Write this moment down and share it with others when they're asking why you're scrimping and saving while you're paying off your credit cards. I try to help my clients envision how their life would be different if they didn't have that debt. What could you afford? What would it be like to go on a paid-for vacation? For me, this transformation was all about the life that I had versus the life that I wanted. When we started paying off our debt, we were living in a one-bedroom apartment and eating carrots as our only vegetable. I wanted something else. I wanted the house. I wanted the Disneyland vacation. Those things would not be possible unless we paid off that debt. This can also be about the thing that you never want to do again. Maybe it's that moment that helped you decide that you need to pay off your debt. You never want to be there again. You never want to be having that conversation about money again. Number two is to stop digging the hole. After you've made that decision and you know things need to change, the first thing you need to do is stop getting in any more debt. It's easy to forget this step, but if we don't stop going backwards, there's no way we're going to make forward progress. It doesn't really make logical sense if you are simultaneously digging yourself farther into debt while also trying to get out of the debt. We need to be honest about the behaviors and spending habits that have led us to this place and vow to stop making those same decisions. We can't continue in the same behavior and expect different results. This is the part where behavior needs to start to change. When I run out of money, I can't just have one more thing. If there's no more money, then I can't go out to eat with my friends or book that vacation for next year. This can be emotionally hard and socially difficult to pull off. The best piece of advice I can give you or to any of my clients is to just be honest with people. You never know who you might inspire. When you're invited to some night out, some party, some trip that you know you can't afford, just tell them that you're getting serious about paying off your debt and you have to say no this time. Suggest alternatives that would cost less money, but you could still hang out. Every yes is a no to something else. When I say yes to a trip I can't afford, I'm saying no to paying off my debt. When I say yes to eating lunch out every single workday, I'm saying no to putting an extra $500 a month towards my debt. That means I'm saying no to my financial goals for lunch. And that leads us to step 3, make a tracker. I love trackers, so this part is fun for me. You need some way to see that you're making progress. It's no fun to scrimp and save and feel like you're in the exact same spot that you were before. You can't see that you're moving forward and you're not busy having fun or buying anything new. There are so many different ways to do this. There are many free charts available online. You could also make your own. You can make a thermometer or even a paper chain. I think a paper chain is pretty fun because you get that physical action of ripping off each ring. This makes me want to make a paper chain for my next financial goal. Even more fun if you have lots of different colors of paper so you can make it all multicolored. You know, have as much fun with this part as you can. Paying off debt is not the most exciting, glamorous, or fun thing you can do. So whatever you can do to make it seem like a little bit more fun will help you pay off that debt faster. If you have other creative ways that you've tracked your debt payoff, leave those in the comments and help the rest of us out. Step 4 is to make your first spending plan. Just like it's vital to have people that support you, surrounding you during your debt payoff journey, this is also true when you run a small business. Group chats and Facebook groups can be really difficult to get any sort of engagement from people. And that's why I'm really enjoying this new tool that I found. Go Brunch allows me to be who I really am while engaging with the people that really matter. So in Go Brunch, you have all these different rooms that you can use for different purposes. And these rooms are super customizable. You can change where people are sitting and what kind of background you want. They even have this cool AI generator here where you can set up your own background. Whatever your mind can imagine, you can make this happen in Go Brunch. It's easy to navigate between rooms by just using the little arrows. You can build your paid communities. Like if you do a lot of one-on-one coaching, you can do this inside Go Brunch. Or if you're looking to build a co-working space or even a meditation space, you can do that. This is just a really great way to gather your community and create connections with your followers. It's super easy to invite people into your meeting, and all they need is that link. And then you can also just record your session on Go Brunch. So everything is just in one easy place. So the rooms that I have in Go Brunch, they're very me, and they really resonate with who I am and who I want to be as a coach and an educator. If you spend a lot of time working with clients online, this takes away that stuffy, impersonal feel. So if you want to create a more personalized experience online with clients and community members, this is really the way to go. Once you have your tracking method all squared away, the next thing you need to do is come up with a spending plan that works for you. Yeah, I know I'm just avoiding the word budget, but that's what I mean. If we want to get serious about paying off debt and we want to do it in less than 30 years, we need to track every single one of our expenses. This is the number one thing that makes the difference between wandering around and never meeting your financial goals to actually making it happen. This is not a glamorous step and it takes work, but I'd rather budget and get where I want to go instead of feel frustrated that I never accomplish my goals and feel stuck in debt forever. Don't just do a rough outline of what you think you might be spending, be exact. How much exactly are we spending on housing, insurance, cars? You do not have to be some math expert or Excel wizard to make a spending plan. Just start with a piece of paper and write down every reoccurring predictable expense that you have. These are called fixed costs. These are the things that don't change very much year to year or month to month. So your mortgage, your insurance, any other payments you have, preschool costs, daycare, phone bill, anything that you see as a regular monthly bill. Then you have to categorize the rest of the money you spend, and it's helpful to have at least a few categories. I call this your variable spending. For us, our categories look like food, health, transportation, kids, clothing, and fun money. This gives us categories to know where we need to stay in the limits of. Now, these are variable categories, and it might be a little bit hard to pin these down at the beginning. And I'm totally expecting this to happen, and this happens to every single one of my clients. Like, I don't actually know how much I'm spending on coffee every single month. It's okay to do some guessing here and expect that first month to be a little bit messy. It's supposed to be. That's part of what opens your eyes to your spending habits. You may consider taking all of these variable categories out as cash at the beginning. You could put them in envelopes to separate the categories. It can be really helpful to have this visual at the beginning so you can really tell when the money is gone. This isn't really a long-term solution in my mind though, because you have to go to the bank all the time and deal with change and all that. And that leads us to step 5, which is check in with your spending plan every single day. Now, this may seem a little bit intense at the beginning, but you really do need to check in with your spending plan every day or every single time you make any sort of purchase. You don't want to get behind and then not know exactly how much money you have left to spend. After you've been doing this budget for a few months, maybe you could go to every other day. But at the beginning, we really need to make that difference and stop the mindless spending. If you're at the grocery store and you don't know that you only have $50 left to spend, things can get out of hand real quick. And by the time you get home, it's too late to realize, oh, we do have food in the pantry. And if I hadn't bought that one thing, I could have stayed in budget. It also helps to just avoid the store when you're hungry, but it always seems to me every time I go, I'm at least a little bit hungry. I'm not sure exactly why that is. And number 6 is to plan for mistakes. One of the things that can really derail you in your credit card payoff journey is not planning for mistakes. We're not expecting them, but life is messy and we're all humans, last time I checked. So to expect that life is just gonna fit in the neat boxes and our budget is just gonna work out perfectly the first time and nothing's ever gonna break is pretty unrealistic and is basically lying to yourself. This is also an easy way to tell yourself that it's okay to give up. Well, I screwed up this month. I guess it's not worth trying again. I'm not cut out for this and I can't figure this out. Expect that it's not gonna work. Do your best to follow your plan, track everything, but you're not gonna be surprised when things happen, when people get sick, when your dishwasher breaks. What really stops you from making progress is stopping the journey. If I decide that I can't do it anymore and that I'm gonna give up now, of course I'm not gonna make progress. Of course I'm never gonna reach my goal. It's not whether or not I can do it perfectly. It's whether or not I can show up tomorrow and try again. Don't give yourself more reasons to give up. And last but not least, you need to make extra payments on those credit cards. And I would make an extra payment anytime you realize that you have any amount of extra money. This might seem a little bit silly, but I know how it goes when you're like, oh, I do have an extra $200. I am doing awesome. Maybe we could go to that show. I've been working so hard to pay off my debt and it is so tiring. We should reward ourselves because we do have a little extra money to spend. It's a trap. I would start making those extra payments on the card with the lowest balance. If you have more than one credit card, you set all your other cards to their minimum payments and just maintain what's happening there. And then you throw all your extra money at that lowest balance credit card. This is all about feeling motivated and seeing that progress. I'm not saying don't ever have fun. I do think having fun money, or at least a little bit of fun money, is essential to making real financial progress. But extra money just laying around with no specific job is dangerous, especially for me. Get that extra money out of your account as fast as humanly possible and into the hands of that credit card company. The other benefit is that you can pay less interest this way. If your interest is calculated daily, then any extra penny that you can get in there is 1 penny less that they're calculating interest on. So you can save yourself a lot in interest this way. So kind of dual purpose. This is about me knowing myself and knowing what I think when I see extra money. I want to spend it, but I also want to give myself the easiest time possible with paying off that credit card. What has helped you in your journey to paying off your credit cards?